Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Kandahar. It's a movie starring Gerard Butler that comes out on May 26th. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, there isn't any. Moving on to the good and the bad. The good, this has Gerard Butler in it. Gerard Butler is always a win, and I like pretty much every movie that I've ever seen him in, except for one, and it was more so like the quality of the movie. It also has Travis Fimmel, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, and it's the guy from like the cool warrior dude from Warcraft, as well as he played one of the like crazy religious dudes in Raised by Wolves, and then I think he also played a similar-ish character in Vikings. But I like this guy. He brings it, and he has just the most intense eyes. So I'm glad that he's getting more work, and it's awesome to see him in this hopefully blockbuster movie. And there's some other actors, and I will say that like the Pakistani guy, like oh my god, he is a beautiful man. Like whew, yeah, good stuff there. But anywho, so this movie, I know it says Kandahar, which for those of you who don't know is a place in Afghanistan, but it opens and spends a deal of time in Iran. So I think it takes a little while to actually get to revealing why Kandahar is the title, but it does eventually make sense. So, anywho, how it opens, and this is the hook, and so Gerard Butler, he's working for some type of covert agency as an undercover person. So he's working for a shell company is pretending to be like a telephonic like wireless internet company thing that is fixing things in this area, and it's in Iran. So the Iranians are like watching them like a hawk, and then things happen, and then a majority of this movie is a chase movie. And I really like chase movies, and I think that they do a very good job. Like, imagine Mad Max Fury Road, how, like, pretty much that whole movie is just a chase. This movie, kind of similar. There's a little bit more time for talking, because it's not like he's not Tom Hardy in that movie where he just has, like, 4 lines or whatever. This is, there are breaks and whatnot, but for the most part, it is just a straight-up chase movie with lots of really good action. And what I liked about it is that it's set in, essentially now, they must have really produced this fast because, or they might have done some reshoots. I don't know, but it's set. A lot of it has current events things going on. So Iran doing Iran shit, and then Afghanistan. It's set after the U.S. has pulled out, and kind of addressing some of those consequences there. So, and I feel like there was enough in like things that happen within this movie that I feel like they either had to have done a lot of reshoots or they did this after the U.S. had pulled, like they made this movie after the U.S. had pulled out, including the writing and everything else. So, fantastic job, in my opinion, for nailing this really well, because there's a lot of competing interests here, and some of the characters don't get all that much screen time, but the little screen time that they do have, they definitely bring a personality to each of their characters, and, we don't necessarily get their whole life story, but we do get enough to, like, care about them, even if, say, their character is maybe the bad guy character. And with how they shot this, like, yes, it's set in today's realm, essentially today's realm, but where they were having this occur and how they were having this occur made it believable that, like, oh, hey, it's just not like everybody picks them up on satellite and then immediately arrests them with all the things everywhere and whatnot. Like, it actually makes sense given the locations, what they are doing. So I thought that was fun, because some of the times in some of the movies nowadays, you're like, well, there's no way that would happen because there's, cameras everywhere here, or there's technology that can take care of that there, or this, that, the other thing. And I thought they did a good job of making it believable. I like Gerard Butler as always, and his companion guy, his interpreter that you meet towards the beginning of the film, he does a great job. I like finding out more about him, and yeah, it's a fun time. And the one thing that I will say is towards the end, I'm not going to go into that right. Just 2 thumbs up. Okay, I'll go into it, but spoiler alert. I'm not going to try and spoil it too much, but I am going to talk a little bit about the end, and once you get towards the end, you might kind of narrow down who or what I'm talking about. So spoiler alert. Okay, so there's a character that, like, there's a lot of build-up, and then, like, it's really awesome, but then it's like they didn't know how to end it. So they were like, well, we don't know how to end this in a good way, so we'll just set up something to force a man-on-man competition. And then, I mean, I think you can imagine which way it probably went in the end, but it seems like they had built him up so much and then didn't know what to do, so they just kind of gave him that little thing and then moved him off the playing field to bring in the other big bad threat that they could have just continued with. Like, that is really the only thing that I was like, all right, here comes the movie moment. Whereas the rest of it, I basically bought the different things that were happening. And like I said, it was fun to see the competing interests with the different groups within Afghanistan. So that was fun to see. But this moment, I was just like, you could have done something with him, or even if you didn't, like, you could have had the surprise of something else. But having this mano a mano thing for building him up so much, it was a little bit of a letdown and a little bit of a detriment to the movie. But not to ruin my overall enjoyment of the movie, because it was just that one little bit. And when you have like 2 hours for the rest of it of really good action, believable action, good amount of fighting, and then what I really liked is that they also had there was a lot of scenes that were set at night, but they didn't, or at least it didn't look like they did the thing where they filmed during a really bright day and then just jank down the color to make it look like it's at night. I don't feel like they did that, but I could also see what was going on, as well as it looked like that was maybe an accurate amount of light, because when you get like a full moon out, like that amount of light I felt like was believable. And so I thought they did a good job there for shooting night scenes, because some recent cinema has either depended too much on the bright daylight darkening, or just too dark, can't see shit. So they did a good job with the dark shots in this movie. And like I said, the overall action, the pacing, everything else, I would have liked. Okay, so now super duper spoilers. I would have liked it if Travis Fimmel hadn't essentially unnecessarily sacrificed himself like that. I feel like that his participation was so important and so critical, and then they were like, but we don't want to have him at the end. We want to have just our two people that we've been following. So we're gonna find a way to make him somewhat nobly sacrifice himself, but like, did it really help anything in the end? I mean, I guess technically yes, but then they brought the other thing back. So I know I keep on saying spoilers, but I'm still trying to be vague, because I think you'll enjoy this movie more if you don't have all this information from the spoiler part on. So I'm just going to stop talking about this movie, because I'm not going to get into specifics, and I'm not going to ruin anything else for you. So go watch this movie when it comes out. I saw an advanced screening, so go watch it on May 26th. There's probably some early showings on the 25th, depending on where you're at. But check it out. I feel like it deserves the big screen because of just the action that's involved. But, you do you. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.